All right, hello there. Welcome to another wee bit different video. Today's video is going to be a really dope one. We are going to see who is the most hated sports teams in football. And I've seen this list very briefly. I couldn't tell you what the top 10 looks like, but it's a top 10 list and it's by Action Sports. So it's like a betting website, but it just says they took social data from, I guess, social media, or I'm not exactly sure where, but I will actually just look through it just to show you guys where they got it from. And they took the most hated comments towards football teams and added a tally to see which teams get hated on the most. And personally, I don't remember outside of the top 5. I do remember roughly the top 5, but I don't think that a lot of these will be surprises to a lot of you guys, shockers to a lot of you guys. But without further ado, let's just get right into it. All right, we're back. So here you go. Right here it says, using Linkfluence, we access social listening data to analyze negative sentiment across all teams from the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and MLS. This specific video, we will do football, and it's from July 2020 to July 2021. So, I mean, you probably won't see teams like the Browns on here is my guess, because the Browns caught a lot of heat after 2021, but we'll still get some of the most hated teams regardless. So let's just dump down to it right here. The NFL teams, they received the most negative sentiment online. I mean, first one right here, Las Vegas Raiders. Not very surprising. I mean, I know a lot of non-Raider fans, and they don't necessarily hate that team. They just think that organization is poorly run. So I guess in that sense, it's not hated. But yeah, they've been poorly run for a minute now. You know, decisions that have been head scratching with whether they're reaching beyond super high for some of the first rounders that they selected, or just the whole Derek Carr scenario, how they haven't really given him much to work with in terms of a defense. Obviously, they gave him Devontae Adams over the season, but even then, this is 2020 to 2021. So yeah, it's just not a pretty thing. Chicago Bears too. They catch a lot of heat all the time. Fortunately, I'm actually recording this on a Sunday night. Y'all just got the first pick of the draft, so you got a lot to look forward to, especially with Justin Fields being that guy. Denver Broncos, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is before Russell Wilson. But you know what? This would be top 3 anyway, because the Russell Wilson thing didn't help at all. Obviously gave away a lot of picks, some players, of course, and he had a terrible season. Now, I will say that I don't think this is the end of Russell Wilson's career. I think that he can bounce back given a proper head coach. Not saying it's all Nathaniel Hackett's fault, but with that being said, Russell Wilson wasn't done any favors. Houston Texans 4. This is before the whole, I'm pretty sure it's before the whole Deshaun Watson thing. Maybe it's not, but regardless, the Browns will be on here anyway. Cowboys, to me, I think that they're the most hated. I know that this is negative sentiment, but definitely this is the most hated that I know of. Either a Cowboy fan or you're a Cowboy hater. I don't really know a lot of people who are in the middle, who are just kind of in that gray area, but so many people hate on this team. It's pretty wild. New York Jets surprisingly are on here. Granted, I think more it's people that hated how they were run, as opposed to, them being hated as an organization. Buffalo Bills, I don't know why they're on here. Honestly, I feel like the Buffalo Bills are cool, but again, I'm trying to keep in mind 2020, 2021, 2020, 2021. So Atlanta Falcons next. They get shit on a lot after the whole Super Bowl choke thing. 28-3, biggest choke that I can think of ever. It's just abysmal. Miami Dolphins and Philly being 10. Nothing too crazy, honestly. If this were probably updated, my guess is the Browns would definitely be significantly high. Just in terms of hated, I know negative sentiment is a little bit different, but if you've been looking at the top tab we got right here, this was a post made 26 days ago on Reddit. Most hated NFL team by team results. So this is actually going to be really cool. So I'll read a little bit of the post. Hey y'all, last week I posted a poll to each NFL subreddit. with the question being which NFL team are the most / least united in their hatred for a single enemy. To my surprise, I received almost 20,000 responses, 19,660 to be exact. However, there are 4 teams that didn't allow me to post on their subreddit, which are the Browns, Bucks, Eagles, and Jaguars. And regardless, I do want to get into the pool, but the most responsive fan bases were Green Bay Packers, San Francisco 49ers, Seattle Seahawks, Carolina Panthers, and New York Jets. But let's just go real quick by the most hated teams overall. Let me zoom in for y'all just in case it's not zoomed in enough. Most hated teams overall, to no surprise, number 1 and 2. This makes a lot more sense to me. The New England Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys. Like, are we just like not gonna pretend like America's team really isn't America's team? To most people, like, people hate these guys, man. It's freaking crazy. Like, they just be existing and they be catching shade from anyone at any given time. New England Patriots, it's because of the Tom Brady and Bill Belichick era. They just dominated for so long, winning for so long. People just didn't want to see him win anymore. So they've ruined a lot of people's dreams. A lot of people's, their team probably went against the Patriots at some point, and they lost to Tom Brady and co. And they're probably heading for it now. So a little bit of a rough stretch. Green Bay Packers at number 3. I'm not sure why they're one of the more hated ones. Maybe because they've been running that division for a long time, but interesting. Surprisingly, again, Minnesota Vikings 4. I don't see why the Vikings would be 4. Maybe they just didn't like the whole Mike Zimmer era. I'm not entirely sure. And Philly, honestly, those are surprising. The New England Patriots and Dallas Cowboys are the least surprising. That shouldn't surprise anyone. But yeah, teams most united in their hatred for a single team. So the Chicago Bears hate the Packers the most. 92% of the responses from the Bears subreddit was the Packers being the number 1 hated team, which is wild. Cowboys somehow, some way make their way to being 2. And the Bears, I mean, how do you hate yourself the most, man? I guess people just hate how poorly run it is. Anyway, New York Jets, number 2. They hate the Patriots the most. Oh, shocker. Bills and Dolphins, naturally. Basically everyone in their division. So the Jets is kind of more of an expected response. Falcons, they hate the Saints because, well, the Saints are in the division. Patriots because of the Super Bowl thing, I'm guessing. And the Bucks, division as well. So, nothing crazy there. Cowboys, yes, I agree wholeheartedly. I think Cowboys fans really hate the Eagles the most, especially since they won their Super Bowl most recently in the division. But also being whenever they play each other, there just seems to be so much beef going on. No surprise there, the Cowboys fans hate the Eagles. Packers, Des caught it thing, probably a reason why. Patriots and Giants equal at 1.5. I can see Giants because division, but I'm not so much sure with Patriots as of. I don't really understand that one. Los Angeles Rams hate the Niners. Of course, somehow, some way, Cowboys make this list. Oh, I actually skipped 3 teams. Let me back out. We got Bengals. Sorry. So Bengals hate the Steelers the most. Not surprising at all there. Every time they play, there's always some kind of heated tension, is what it feels like. Especially when Juju was there. It's crazy. When I'm saying Juju was there with the Steelers, of course. Browns, Ravens. So Cincinnati's don't got beef with anyone outside the division. It's strictly division. Detroit Lions, mostly. I shouldn't even say mostly because it's just the Packers in their division. They're actually playing right now. Games at halftime though, so I have time to make a quick video. I'll probably catch the quarter a little late, but this is where we're at. Anyway, Packers getting a lot of hate from Detroit Lions. Cowboys at 7.8. Somehow, some way, Cowboys make their way on this list. And Patriots and Browns rounding out the other spots, which is unexpected because the Vikings aren't here. It's Vikings, Lions, Packers, and Bears. Yeah, wow. No Vikings or Bears siding for the Lions. Anyway, we go to the Rams. And again, Cowboys, of course. Somehow, some way, they make themselves on this list. It's just crazy. Niners expected, Patriots, because they lost to the Patriots in the Super. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl is my guess. Anyway, Minnesota Vikings. Of course, they hate the Packers. Packers are going to be hated since they've been running that division for the majority of the years in recent past. Eagles. Weird. Have we been through the Eagles already? No, we haven't. So yeah, the Vikings hate the Eagles for some reason. I honestly couldn't tell you exactly why. Also, not a fan of the Saints, which is another weird one. And Commanders, some of them hate themselves. Can't say. That's so funny. Eagles number 2. So they kept it in division, including themselves, which is really weird, but it's funny. The Chargers hate the Raiders, Chiefs, and again, hate the Cowboys. Somehow, some way they make themselves on this list. But no surprise that they've hit that. I honestly would think that the Chiefs would be number 1. Kind of surprised to see the Raiders are number 1, but you know, I get they're in division, but so are the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are actually winning, so weird. New Orleans Saints, Falcons, number 1. No surprise there. Bucks 2. What is up with this Saints and Vikings thing? Like, what? I have to be missing something. I'm positive I'm missing something, to be honest with you guys. Probably a game in the playoffs that I've missed that I'm not thinking off the top of my head. Anyway, Buffalo Bills. Gotta say, I'm not surprised to see Chiefs here after last season's exit in the playoffs. Dolphins in division, Patriots in division. All that makes sense. Colts lost to the Patriots. Probably has something to do with what? Playoffs? Or maybe Peyton Manning stands that are like, yo, he's the GOAT, and they hated Tom Brady and the Patriots. Maybe. Titans, of course, in division, and Steelers. Can't say I understand this one either. Las Vegas Raiders hate the Chiefs, no surprise. Hate the Broncos, no surprise. Okay, Raiders, very, very civil, hating the people in their division. It makes complete sense. I understand that. That actually makes sense. Packers hate division, hate Cowboys. Everyone hates the Cowboys. It's not even a surprise. So, man, Packers ain't got no beef with Lions fans, but Lions got all the beef in the world with Packers fans, huh? That's pretty funny. Baltimore Ravens, Steelers, of course, Browns, and Ravens, very, very civil. Okay, Ravens, I like that. New York Giants, Eagles and Cowboys, both hated equally, makes sense. Patriots, there must have been some old fans to be holding on hate for that long, even though y'all won. Anyway, Kansas City Chiefs hate the Raiders. Surprisingly, they hate the Raiders the most. I honestly didn't think it would be them. Granted, I don't know who the Chiefs would hate. Bengals too, because they took them out. And Broncos in division. So understood hate. San Francisco hate the Seahawks for whatever reason. The Seahawks find a way. Cowboys, of course they're on here. Just of course. Rams 14.8 in division. That makes sense. Titans hate the Colts. Or Eagles. Titans hate the Eagles. And why do they hate these two? Not even in the same. Interesting. Wonder what the Ravens and did the Ravens take out the Titans? Is that why? Did the Eagles do that too? I'm not sure. Wow, the Tennessee Titans do not respect their division. Or I guess they do respect them because they don't hate them. Carolina Panthers, typically in division, but then Cowboys. Dude, I feel like based off of what I'm saying, the Cowboys are always the most hated more than the Patriots. Like, that's what it really feels like based off of like everyone's responses. Because just a lot of Cowboys, time and time again, we've seen it. Denver Broncos, no surprise. These two. And the Seahawks, no surprise with that Super Bowl embarrassment of a performance. Makes sense. Seattle Seahawks hate the Niners, Rams, and the Steelers. Don't understand this one. Patriots hate the Jets, Bills, Chiefs. Because of Mahomes? Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, these two make sense. I'm guessing this is a Mahomes and Tom Brady when they were dueling. Miami Dolphins, Jets, Patriots, and Bills. Miami Dolphins being very civil. only hitting those in division. Pittsburgh Steelers. Honestly, none of this surprises me. It's like, I think this is like the most hated, like split hate of all teams. Like Pittsburgh, like think about it, dude. What other, you just go to like other divisions, right? What other team hates like almost equally all three other outer division teams? I don't think there's any single one that hates all those teams almost as equally. I feel like there's always a big dog in who's being hated on and who's not being hated on. Like, look at this, like Green Bay, Vikings, Vegas Chiefs. Like, it's just one big, I'm gonna hate this team, and the rest not as nearly as much. But you go to the Steelers and it's like very evened out hate. Actually, you know what? Right in front of me, Jets, Patriots, and Bills. Okay, so Pittsburgh, okay, Miami more than anything has the most evened out hate. Like, they just hate their division, period. But yeah, Steelers as well. I want to say that's the closest, like, evenly hated division, outer division teams in this whole list. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, New York, and they hate the Cowboys and Eagles, but clearly they're not even thinking about the Commanders. Houston Texans, Cowboys are one. Is it because you're also in Texas and you just like screw the Cowboys? Dude, I feel like looking at this list, the Cowboys are the most hated team. Seriously, like it's pretty wild. Seahawks. Wait. Colts in division, Titans, Browns. Why do you hate the Browns? Is it because Deshaun Watson? Like what? I'm guessing it's because of Deshaun Watson, but that's like, okay. And then Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks, and again, Cowboys. Like, yeah. Some interesting notes. Packers, Raiders, and Patriots both appeared 3 times as the most hated team of another team. But all 3 of the Packers' appearances make the top 10, including the number 1 spot. Damn. So the Packers have clearly done quite the number on the NFC North. But that's no surprise. Wow. 15 teams are not the most hated team. The 15 teams that are not the most hated team for any other NFL team are Cardinals, Ravens, Bills, Panthers. Let me highlight this real quick for y'all. Panthers, Cincinnati, Bengals, Denver Broncos, Detroit Lions, Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars, Chargers, Dolphins, Giants, Bucks, Titans, and Commanders. I want to say that doesn't really surprise me. I'm a little surprised about the Bucks more than anything, though, because they just won a Super Bowl. Not just won a Super Bowl, but they did win a Super Bowl recently. I thought they'd be hated on a little bit more. I expected the Texans to be hated on quite a bit since they, like, you know, even though they traded Deshaun Watson, they did help him in doing what he did, whether it was intentional or not. None of this other stuff really surprised. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that doesn't really surprise me. Washington Commanders, I'm surprised, aren't the most hated, though, based off of, like, you know, the whole owner thing, but whatever. The 5 teams that didn't even make it to anyone's top 3s are Houston Texans, Detroit Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars, Panthers, and Commanders. Commanders made it into their own top 3, but it was their own, so it doesn't count. Oh, wow, that's actually funny. The most self-loathing team by votes was the Arizona Cardinals. They received 6.5% of their own votes. That's fucking crazy. Cardinals, y'all need some help, straight up. Giants were the only team to have a tie for the first place. They clearly hit the Cowboys and Eagles both very much, but couldn't seem to decide which one they hated more. So both teams got exactly 274 votes. Wow, that's crazy. That's actually really crazy. Dolphins were the most evenly split among the top 3, with their 3rd most hated team still receiving 28.6 of their votes. Go Dolphins, y'all. y'all ain't skewed as much as the other ones, huh? Colts, Texans, the only 2 teams to hate a team outside of their division the most unanimously, voting for Patriots and Cowboys respectively. The Texans hating the Cowboys makes sense as an in-state rivalry, but I was surprised the Colts vote. Yeah, I was surprised as well seeing the Colts hate the Patriots so much. I just didn't. Yeah, how much was it? What was the percent on that? It was pretty wild. 51.8. Like, that's got to be a Peyton Manning thing, right? But yeah, I don't know. Not entirely sure. I asked everyone whose second favorite NFL team was, but those numbers aren't nearly as interesting. Okay, so let's look at like some of the top comments. It's the universal truth that nobody hates the Cardinals more than the Cardinal fans. We ain't got a killer vibe like that, dude. 80% of the fan base would vote Saints. Saved you some time. Yeah, I'm not surprised Bucks would hate the Saints. That does sound pretty realistic. Rams really hate the 49ers, and the 49ers don't really care about the Rams that much. The Panthers are so forgettable that you forgot to include us in this list of the forgettable team no one hates. Yeah. Okay, well, 3 hours later, and original poster looks to have updated the list of the not hated teams and still forgot the Panthers. Did he still not add the Panthers after all that time? All right, regardless, I don't think anyone really cares. Yeah, this is what I figured right here. So I was surprised by the Colts votes. I'm sure someone can explain in the comments. Hangover from the Brady versus Manning era. Also, who else? Who are we going to historically going to hate? A lot of the hate was indivisible, but we owned it for the Manning and Luck years. If it was me, I'd expect Pats, Steelers, and then maybe times based on recency. Yeah, I would say it has to be from the Brady Manning era because it really wouldn't make much sense otherwise. Like, it just seemed kind of random. Even the Lions don't hate themselves as much as the Bears hate themselves. Yeah, Lions. Yeah, I can see why Lions fans have gone through it, man. I don't know when the last time they made the playoffs was, but it's been a minute. Bears hating the Packers the most of all teams, and the Packers not even reciprocating is cold. I mean, yeah, dude, the Packers have been dominating that division for a minute now, so can anyone like even remotely act surprised? Okay, so that's gonna round out the video here. We went through a lot of information. I don't expect most of you to remember a lot, but what I will say is shout out to this Redditor right here, SomeCal. This post was 26 days ago, and again, the first thing we looked at, the most negative commented on teams, was by Action Network. So yeah, we got to see a lot of hate and division among sports fans, and you know, I can't say I'm surprised. You know, things happen. Again, this is the most negative sentiment, so people that just have the most I guess the people that have the worst point of view on a team. Am I wording that right? Maybe not. People that have the worst, what's the word I'm looking for here? The least respect for. People that get trashed on the most. I'm just gonna say that is what literally this is. So people that get trashed on the most is the Raiders. 14.20% of the comments made on them are negative. So it's a hard life for the Raiders, and the whole Derek Carr thing. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. But then again, this is outdated. This one is updated. This was again made 26 days ago, so this is damn near new, and a small sample, and being almost 20k, 19.6k to be exact, or closer to exact, I should say. But yeah, appreciate y'all for watching. Honestly, I'm a Cowboy fan, and I'm not at all surprised to see they're named on this list. Everyone I meet who, when I say I'm a Cowboy fan, they, oh my god, he's a Cowboy fan. We got a Cowboy fan over here. Like, I'm just like chilling, bro. I'm just like. Anyway, appreciate y'all for watching. As always, this is Ollie Been Different on We Been Different, and we out.